Welcome back along to the quarterfinals of the Play for Lives Cup. That's set to go for this first leg of the quarterfinals with Jamboree up against Berkeley in leg one. Berkeley are the home team. Timmy, who's your tip for this first game?
Look, I think it's quite clear that I think the Jamboree will win this one. The form team of the competition overall, and they're proven goal scorers, and they're pretty solid at the back. So I think that sort of puts them in a prime position to take out this one.
We're lacking a bit of visual at the moment. Also, we want to sort that out. And now we're back on. Here we go. So kickoff here at the moment is 0-0 against Jamboree and Berkeley. Jamboree currently have the ball at the moment. A couple of technical difficulties there. OBS decided to shut down on us. Positive start, but we're back onto it now. Should be good. Jamboree had the ball out left. Looking to control the ball a little bit. And Timmy, Jamboree in the group stage, like we said, they pumped up the stats earlier. They were mighty impressive, weren't they?
Most definitely, and they've just had a chance there. And they could have a goal. It's a couple of deflections there, but it's cleared yet. But yeah, look, I think that they showed that at both ends of the field, they're one of the best in the competition, and the combination of both of those can really send you high up in this competition. And look, I think we'll see that here against Berkeley. They've started really well here, quite urgent in their play, and we'll sort of see if that trend continues over the rest of this fixture.
Yeah, exactly right. I might just turn down the quality here, so because I believe you're a bit far ahead of me. Obviously, technical difficulties. We'll get it right one day. Jamboree currently on the ball now.
I don't think the stream is loading on YouTube.
Well, it should be.
We're still on the Play for Lives banner.
It's probably delayed.
No, it's doing the buffering thing, which means the stream isn't. There's no content for it to load.
This is a different stream now.
Oh, you created a new stream?
Yes.
Oh well, okay, no worries then.
I think that's the only way it worked. Yeah.
Yeah, we're all good.
So you're on the old stream with the buffer. Go to the new one.
Not that they can hear that, but
yeah, we'll blame OBS. On the ball now.
Trying to stream on a MacBook Air.
Yeah, I imagine not having a PC. Just saying, you could have done this here. You want as Jamboree on the counter attack here. It's 1-on-6. Still managed to have the ball. He's Jamboree looking to feed it through. Well defended by Berkeley there. AI back at it again, Tim.
Oh, look at the AI there. That'll be the one good movement of the entire game for the AI. Had some terrible memories of the AI. Just some of the things they've done, you just still have nightmares about it. Obviously, the throw-in incident against Coniston. Even just in regular gameplay, the couple of red cards we had where you go and penalties conceded, where you go, why have you put in a challenge there?
Yeah.
The AI is a truly bipolar thing.
And our mates from Oak Flats and Blake, they are watching this stream at the moment from their TVs. Blake must have the most advanced TV in the world. As Berkeley looking to counter attack here. Very underrated side, this Berkeley team.
They sort of go under the radar because they've had a couple of really poor results, but they did finish fourth, didn't they? So you know that they. I'm pretty sure I commented of how sort of consistent you had to be to get into that top four in this competition. So they're obviously a quality side, but went a bit under the radar with a couple of their results, which could potentially suit them in this kind of a fixture.
Yeah, Berkeley did finish fourth. However, the next team was us, about 5 points adrift. So they did have a bit of a cushion.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we were sort of thinking we could make it in the last week, but
Dylan Arvell intervened.
Well, I mean, no comment.
Of course not. He's probably watching it right now. About to get some abusive messages, but we'll carry on. The game seemed to settle a little bit since that early Jamboree cluster of chances, as they that's not an ideal way to play the game, that's for sure. Just keeping it straight out. On the ball now. They're going to switch it out if they can. They've done it very nicely. They got the numbers overload down the right, but he decides to go in the middle. And again, Berkeley looked to counter. Jamboree been very impressive in this tournament, but they have been guilty of having slow starts on some match nights and then turning it up in the next couple. As Berkeley strike there, that for a corner, a nice save by the goalkeeper. Was Jamboree one of the only teams, Gerringong included, of course, who have a human controlling goalkeeper on the ball now. Looking to attack again down that right wing. They've managed to do so until the ball has been tapped away. And now Jamboree on the break now. It's 1-on-2 here, looking for the numbers game coming back. He's managed to chip it through. Very nice ball indeed. Can they get into the box? Very nice by Berkeley, held up there. And they have done well to get out of that situation. Jamboree were trying to press through. That's a beautiful ball down the right wing. Can he get it in? And Saffron on the corner. Successful result for Berkeley team so far.
Yeah, look, they're certainly holding their own in this fixture. There haven't really been too many clear-cut chances for either side. I guess early on, there was a couple of little half chances for Jamboree. Couldn't quite get a clean shot off. But yeah, look, no, it's been good from a Berkeley perspective, and of course Jamboree sort of trying to dominate the ball. That they have had quite a lot of the ball in this early period, but Berkeley on the counter attack have had a couple of half chances themselves, but it is still really even, a lot more even than perhaps what we saw last night.
So far, at least. You never know what happens the next game, as Berkeley defending quite well against Jamboree. Want to hold it out till half time here. And the last thing they want is an away goal for Jamboree as it's blown half time. Going back to the videoless panel now. Here we are. How's this, Timmy? Blank.
It's pretty good. We got 30 seconds, mate. 30 seconds.
30 seconds. That's like the most of it. Make the most of it. Should just come up with their names, and it does. Done all right. So for all those wondering why we don't have our images up, internet issues tonight. We'll have to make do with it. NBN. No, we won't say NBN. We don't want to get sued by them.
You're not going to get sued by NBN, mate. Don't worry.
You don't think so?
You're allowed an opinion.
Okay, law student. Timmy is a law student, so he does know what he's talking about.
Well, I definitely don't know what I'm talking about.
You do?
I have done.
As we're getting ready,
like
go back and do
4
this
months.
game.
4 months of law. I'm not an expert.
Now. Are we in sync, Tim? Did you just hit the long ball over to the left?
Of course, mate.
Just trapped it now. Brilliant. We're in sync. That's what we need. Is Jamboree in the box. That's a golden opportunity. Golden opportunity. Jamboree are known for burying those chances, which is a bit out of character. Is that a sign for later on as Berkeley attack down the right wing again? Would have blown the foul there, but ref decided to play on. And that's a far from ideal strike. Up the line now. Berkeley seem to be winning the 50-50s. However, Jamboree are scrapping very well to win the second ball. Holding firm there. Nice piece of skill from Jamboree as they cough it up cheaply. Now Berkeley looking to attack there, but again, they're watered by the defence. It's out for another throw-in. 51 minutes gone. Yeah, they've gone up for the foul there. Jamboree would love to find an away goal right now. Make the next tie very interesting and tricky for Berkeley. As they feed it through now, there it is. Right on cue. 1-0 to Jamboree. Beautiful, beautiful thwarted piece of attacking movement there.
Is that an away goal as well?
And is it away goal for sure? So it's Worth 2 for Jamboree, pretty much, in the scheme of things. Berkeley are going to have to look to fight back here, or at least minimise the damage going into the next fixture. Showcasing their quality is Jamboree. Nice ball there. Looking again on the counter attack down the right side. Berkeley's got the ball. Can they get it in the middle? They do indeed, but it's well taken by the keeper as it's punched away. But they've won it again. Look for another ball in the box, and they found it. There's a poor header in the end, and it's out for a goal kick. Well, Timmy, really, there's only been one really clear-cut chance, or maybe two, and one of them was the goal.
Yeah, well, it's a much tighter game than what we saw last night, and I guess that's a good preface. But yeah, look, I mean, in terms of the way in which they've played, they've played conservatively Jamboree, but when they have had their moments, they've come forwards and they've created quite a few chances, and there could be another one here.
They're looking very open here as they're attacking
blocked.
down the. Yeah, you're a bit like a second in front, I think.
Mate, refresh your stream, or actually, maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not. We'll leave it as it is.
Yeah, I'll just stay quiet for 1 second, and then we'll see what happens. But yeah, look, as I was saying, you know, they've sort of been a little bit more conservative in their approach, but that sort of helped them out in terms of Berkeley really being nullified in the kind of chances they're creating. It's sort of resorting to getting it wide and putting crosses in the box, which aren't one of the more effective methods of FIFA. So
unless you got my player in the box after that Coniston goal.
You scored one goal. I've seen you miss about 20 of them, but we'll just go with it.
It's one more header than what you've got.
My dude's 5'3", mate.
Yeah, that's your problem. Yeah, Jamboree got the numbers down the right wing here. Looking to attack forward. That's a beautiful switch ball. Can they finish it off? And they can't. Straight to the goalkeeper. Will Berkeley be happy with a 1-0 loss here going into the next fixture?
Yeah, well, I mean, they're only a goal away from getting back into it. So I guess from that perspective, that's positive. But look, I think they would have liked to perhaps inflict a little bit more damage than they have so far. I guess from a mental perspective, the chance creation hasn't been too profitable from Berkeley, which is not ideal heading into a second leg fixture against a side like Jamboree.
And they do have the away goal, Jamboree, which could be crucial come towards the end. Jamboree on the ball now. Berkeley looking to nullify the attacking threat. Don't want to be conceding any more goals. As Jamboree playing very conservative now with 15 minutes to go. Is that going to be the strategy for the last 15? Control the ball and take it into the second leg. Maybe they can thwart something here. They can't. It's not a bad ball down the left side as well. Can they do something with this? Moving forward, that's a brilliant tackle. Jamboree seem to have them covered on the throw-ins. As they look to counter here, they do have the numbers. It must win for Berkeley as it's over here. Jamboree looking forward to the attack down the left wing. Cross it in, and it's a poor cross in the end out for a goal kick. Well, how would you rate the game so far, Timmy? Not the most entertaining game in the world, but very conservative from both teams.
It's been intriguing, and I think that's good to see that both sides are sort of respecting each other in that respect, not doing anything that's too unnecessary, and just being smart with the way they're playing. It would be good to see the game perhaps open up, especially in the latter stages of the second game, in which sides need to be scoring goals, especially from Berkeley so far. They'll need a goal, and so you perhaps might see a bit more attacking fluidity from both teams. But look, it's been an interesting game, an intriguing one in that respect, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it shapes up moving forwards.
Jamboree pinched the ball here, and it's run out yet again by Jamboree. They've been guilty of that a couple of times tonight. Berkeley needs something here in the last 2 minutes of the game. plus stoppage time. Otherwise, Jamboree going to the next fixture. A home fixture, mind you, with a 1-goal advantage. And that crucial away goal could come crucial in the end. As they're on the ball now, looking for the counter-attack. It's well defended, though. 2 minutes of stoppage time on the clock. This Berkeley look to attack here. This could be very crucial if they can find another goal, but it doesn't look like they will. And Jamboree will hold out for a 1-0 win. Bar a miracle here by Berkeley. That's a miracle-looking ball there. Moving it on. Here they are. Here's Berkeley with a chance here. Well defended by Jamboree. And it's full time. 1-0 to Jamboree. Timmy, back on the faceless panel. How would you rate that performance? Berkeley nearly threatened towards the end.
Well, I mean, just looking at the stats there, very similar shots, very similar possession. So in that respect, it was quite even. But you certainly felt that Jamboree had more of the ball in certain areas, and Berkeley were more prepared to sort of make the most of a very few opportunities and be quick with their play, while Jamboree were a bit more patient. But yeah, look, I think moving forwards into the second game, both sides are going to sort of have to step it up a notch if they want to go through. I think from a Jamboree perspective, whether they decide to sit back and hold it or whether they will go for more goals, I think a defensive approach could prove catastrophic, especially if Berkeley do nick a goal with not much time to go. So I think if Jamboree, sort of a bit more attacking intent, we know the quality's there. So I think to see something like that would be quite good from their perspective, and perhaps could, more threatening.
We're going to go to a break now. We don't have any more faceless things. We've now got our Play for Lives image up. Thank Christ for that. Coming up next, League 2 of the South Coast Play for Lives quarterfinals. FIFA Comp. See you in a sec.
Normally you would.
Okay, Coniston, set them up. This is what happens when community comes together.
Come together!
It's there's always one in the crowd, but what a combination. We've got obviously the LMA and the Lakemba Mosque, which has been here since the 1960s. We've got other organisations who are here. We've got Craig Foster through his Play for Lives. We had the Swans here earlier. We've got Gandhi with the Lighthouse team. We've got the PCYC, we've got the Campsie Police. Of course, we've got the Sharuk sisters who have put together, and you will see a great lentil recipe. And our new friends, Rosanna from Addy Road. Big round of applause, Rosanna. These food hampers aren't going to go to just local Muslim families. When you're in need, it doesn't matter what religion you are, what creed you are, what colour you are. What matters is that you need some help.
It's exciting to see so many different organisations coming together to help those people in the community that are in dire need at the moment. We've got Addison Road Community Centre from Marrickville. We've got a lot of different organisations who are here helping. Jihad Dib, the MP, the local MP for Lakemba. Everyone's been galvanised, have come together to assist those people that are really struggling. We're all in this together. Doesn't matter what your background is, what your religion. Here during Ramadan, we're all helping one another, and that's what it's all about. And a big thanks also to Play for Lives, because they're the ones that instigated this whole event today. So I'm really happy to be a part of this.
Hi, we're the Sharuk sisters. Well, we're the better half of the Sharuk sisters.
Carla.
The other two over there still packing their boxes, which includes our family's famous red lentil soup. This soup plays a significant role to us. It's been handed down from generations to generation.
Well, what a great day we've had. We've been able to put together 200 food hampers, outstanding food hampers. Craig, it's been unreal working with you. The Play for Lives initiative, Abbey Road, Lakemba Mosque, Lighthouse, the Campsie Police, Crescent Wealth. This is everybody coming together, the Sharuk sisters. But this is everybody standing together when things are really tough, and I think it's really important.
Welcome back to the Play for Lives Cup quarter-finals. Jamboree getting a 1-0 away win in the first fixture. Timmy, if Berkeley win 1-0 this next game, we're going into a replay game.
Well, yeah, look, I think there's certainly a possibility of that after looking at the first fixture, but it depends how they're going to approach this one, really. They do need a goal, but potentially exposing themselves at the back could lead to Jamboree running over the top of them. So the way they play this is going to need to be very tactical, and they going to need to play at their best if they want to get through to the next round.
Very interesting what happens. Reason why we go into a full game replay if it finishes 1-0 is because we do not have an option to go into extra time because of FIFA system. We can't control the system, unfortunately. But moving on now, Jamboree are in the middle of sending the invite as we speak, so we're not too far away from the game getting underway. Timmy, do you reckon Berkeley can make a comeback here and get a win, or do you reckon Jamboree is going to take this out?
Absolutely, I think they can, but they need to play this, they need to be smart about the way they go about this, because this Jamboree team can run over the top of anyone in the competition. So in that respect, they're going to have to be smart about it. And look, one wrong move, one little mistake at the back, exposing themselves a little bit too much could lead to, a goal for Jamboree to effectively end the tie, because Jamboree are so good at the back.
It'll be very interesting if Berkeley get at least one goal. Even if they get more goals, it'll be interesting for Jamboree. It'll be panic stations. Moving on now. They are just in the lobby getting set. So it's very exciting coming into leg number 2. Of course, after this game, we've got Ellensburg up against Coniston, 2 of the form teams. Ellensburg, mind you, have one of the other teams to not lose a game yet. Now, Abbey Park City is the only other team not to lose a game, as we're ready to go into leg number 2. You ready for this, Timmy? Let's get it underway.
Let's do it.
Come on now. Jamboree to kick off, of course, and Berkeley are looking very compact right from the kickoff straight away. So maybe that's a little tactic they're going for. But, of course, Jamboree are going to look to go out wide again, but not with touches like that. Or passes like that. That's a poor pass. Jamboree could be in here. Well defended. Berkeley were moments away from disaster there as they look to counter again down that right flank, just similar to the first game. Ball in the midfield now. Can they have a strike here? It's well blocked by Jamboroo's defence. Bit of a frantic start. Frantic first couple of minutes, Timmy.
Yeah, look, sort of both sides trying to, get an early goal that could be so influential in the overall result of this game. They're a lot more direct, which is seeing a few more turnovers as such.
Yeah, game seems to be played at a frantic pace at the moment as Jamboree look attack down the right wing. Don't have any numbers in the box just as yet, but Berkeley do have those numbers. They can't afford to give away a goal here, Berkeley. On the ball now. Nice switch of play from Jamboree. Look to settle the game down a little bit. It's a nice little ball there. Again, dealt with well by the Berkeley defence as they look to do that quick counter-attack, which they try so well. He's got a gap in the middle here. I don't know if that was the right option of pass. Yeah, they've still managed to keep it. Jamboree look to quickly counter-attack. Berkeley on the ball now. What can they do here? Can they snag a goal? It'll be very interesting if they snag an away goal. Make this tie very interesting. Can they get this ball in, or will they decide to hold it? They get the ball in, and it's a near post. Oh, that's a clear chance. It's tough header to deal with, Jimmy, but alas, it was the first chance of the game.
Yep, look, it's I guess the direct nature of both teams is leading to a few less chances, and it took about 15 in-game minutes to see a real opening there. If they did have Nathan near post Turner on the job, sure it would have been in the net.
Yes. He didn't turn up the other night, though. No near post on last Tuesday night.
I don't think he scored a near post all the entire season, mate, to be honest.
He snagged one, but that's about it. He got the nickname and then it just got to his head, and he hasn't produced ever since.
Yeah. Too much pressure. Too much pressure on the young lad.
That's a nice ball from Jamboree. Shame he couldn't control it in the edge of the D there. So they look to deal with it, Berkeley. It's very risky play back to the goalkeeper there. But they have dealt with it for now. It's a nice ball by Berkeley. They've got the numbers down the white here. They can play it quickly. Opted against playing it and turned in and lost possession there. They could be punished for it here by Jamboree as they attack down the left side. It's a nice little ball there. What can they do here? Berkeley have held them up ever so slightly. Again, a very nice switch from Jamboree. But they've opted against going forward with it. Maybe they're playing the conservative game yet again in order to get a result from this tie. So they attack down this left wing. Can the ball in the box? It's a nice ball into the box, but it's well dealt once again. Not dealt with. As Berkeley look to attack down the right side. What can they do here? Opted against the forward pass. A bit tentative in their thinking are the Goats so far. As the ball's down the right wing, can they keep it in? They do, but it's off the Jamboree player. Who wins the first ball in the midfield? Again, it's Jamboree with the ball in the midfield. That's a nice little lob. Will it hold up for him, though? It does indeed. Taps around to the player. Can he get into the box? Again, dealt with. Yes, like you elaborate on your point earlier, Tim. Balls into the box don't seem to be the way to score at the moment.
No, not at all. It's difficult to see how these teams are going to sort of score past each other now.
We'll see what happens. Anything can happen in FIFA. You saw the goal against the Goats as the ball goes into the box and dealt with by the keeper yet again.
Our goal against the Goats, mate, was a masterpiece of tactical brilliance from everyone involved.
Yeah. Let's call it that without showing anyone the footage, shall we?
Exactly right, mate.
Jamboree was looking for the long ball again. Hasn't pulled off just yet, although they have had a couple of half chances. So pull up for a foul there. Jamboree get a little breather after a frantic opening period to the game. Still 0-0. Just a couple of minutes away from half time. The Ball into the box. What can they do with it? And that's a rather acrobatic clearance. Onto the ball. Can they look to switch, play the Jamboree game as such? They have so indeed. Can they attack down this wing? They're looking for the run, but again, it's dealt with by the Jamboree defence very nicely. Of course, Jamboree have the equal least amount of goals conceded in this tournament. The other team is Coniston, who is up next against Ellensburg Thistle. Could these two meet tomorrow night? It'd be very interesting to see the two best sides defensively in the league come up against each other, but we'll have to wait and see, of course. Still a long way to go on this one as we approach half time. Jamboree win the ball down the line. Is he offside there? Hint of an offside, and it is. Flags up. Well, Timmy, much like the first fixture, but we look like we're going into half time 0-0. Not many goals to report on at the moment from this game.
No, and the pressure's just building on Berkeley in this situation from a Jamboree perspective. Just keep doing what you're doing. The more pressure that builds on Berkeley, the more space that will open up, especially from in Berkeley's defence. And look, you just got to capitalise on it and finish the game off.
Yeah, both teams have had even amounts of the ball in most parts of the game, but Berkeley desperately need this away goal right now. And they might have to send the troops forward come the end of this game to deal with it as they take a quick break after a rather frantic paced first half. Although the quality of football is lacking a little bit in comparison to some other games, though. Nevertheless, it's been a tough fixture at the moment, Timmy. Judging by that first half, Tim, do you reckon we're going into a third game? Do you reckon Jamboree can seal the deal? Or can Berkeley snatch a win here?
Yeah, I'd be confident of Jamboree finishing this game off from here.
Moving on, we're back into the second half now. Berkeley start with the ball, but they're cheaply given it away by the AI. The dreaded AI, Timmy, cost us in some games, didn't they?
Look, mate, I've already had enough rants about the AI. It's just unbelievable, some of the decisions that they make. It's probably best to stop me talking about the AI because I'll just go on for the rest of the night. There's a shot here,
and it's very close by Jamboree. Another shot right after half time, just like the first leg. Goes unbearably close. On the ball now, down the line. It looks like he's still onside here as he's moving into the box. It's panic stations here for Berkeley. Here's a strike. Can they finish it off? It's a goal. Well, surely that's the tie now, Tim.
Yeah, that's Berkeley game over for me.
Goals. Berkeley need 2 goals now if they want to make something of this game. Goats have the ball. What can they do? Can they respond? Jamboree look like they have the competitive edge over them now. Look to control this ball a little bit. What can they do going forward, the Goats? Can they do anything going forward against this very stingy Jamboree defence? Going to watch those runs there. Otherwise, they're in severe danger. Here's Jamboree with the ball now. What can they do with it? It's cut very nicely. Set for a goal kick in the end. Up the line. Berkeley need to win those balls if they want any chance of advancing forward at the moment because Jamboree don't look like they're coughing the ball up easy. It's not especially in their third as they play on there. And Jamboree look to use their pace in the counter attack. Very quick movements there. What can they do? Again, that chip ball isn't working for them. What can they do here? Can they do anything? Berkeley holding them off just for now. But Berkeley, while they're defensively not too bad, they need a goal right now, Tim. They need a goal.
Yeah, well, look, I think that this could end up quite one-sided for the Jamboree boys because I just think Berkeley haven't really had any answers sort of in an attacking sense to the way in which Jamboree have defended. And I think that's really what set them up in this game is that defensively Jamboree have been all but perfect. A couple of half chances for Berkeley, but nothing too much. And yeah, look, I think the more numbers that Berkeley push forward just creates more space at the back for Jamboree to exploit.
See what they can do here as they're down the line again. Look for that cross ball. It's Berkeley in the box. Oh, my word. Well, that's as good of a chance as Berkeley's going to get tonight, I reckon. That is as close as you want as Jamboree look for the counter here. They look a bit open in midfield, Berkeley, as the Jamboree have the numbers advancing forward. What can they do? That's quick ball movement. Still got the ball. What can they do here? Can they finish them off? Nice save by the goalkeeper. Header needed to be a bit more lower, I think. A bit too high, easily dealt with by the goalkeeper. As they move on now. Just kept by the ball there. Yeah, Berkeley seemed to look like they run out of ideas moving forward. Very lackluster on that front tonight. What can they do from here? Can they do anything? It's Jamboree, just look at them swarming 4 or 5 players around the one player on the ball. Minorly impressive defensive display. Almost mirrors Abbey Park City last night as they look to break on the counter again. And here they go. It's 1-on-2 here. Got a number coming out of the edge of the D, but that's a brilliant tackle by Berkeley in the end. Up the line. What can they do? They've got 18 minutes to salvage 2 goals. Mind you, they got those 2 goals with no more conceded. They would win this tie on away goals. That's seeming quite unlikely at the moment as Jamboree look to attack. Can they finish this game off? The deep cross into the box as the keeper tips it away. And very contentious foul there. Looked like he got the ball from here. But nevertheless, it is a Jamboree free kick. That's a beautiful switch ball. What can they do here? Again, looking down this right side. And that chip ball, it hasn't come off for them yet. They still persist in trying it. Here's the ball, and that's the game. 3-0 Jamboree on aggregate currently. Surely there's no way back for Berkeley now. It looks like Jamboree are heading into the semi-finals tomorrow night. Well, it's just been a superb defensive display from Jamboree, Tim. It's going to be very interesting to see who they come up against tomorrow night. Either Ellensburg, the only team who's beaten them, or Coniston, the next to them, has the stingiest defence in the competition. It'd be very interesting coming up next game, Tim.
Yeah, look, I think that depending on who they get, I think especially with Coniston's defensive stability, they may have to potentially change the way that they play because in this game especially, they've relied on just sort of a really solid defense and just trying to control the game that way. So against a Coniston team that's, just as good as attacking as they are at defending, that they might have to perhaps be more expressive in that respect.
Can Jamboree make it 4-0 on aggregate? They're looking likely here as they move forward. But again, a nice last-ditch defensive display by Berkeley. As they look to counter here, they do have the numbers, or we thought we had the numbers, although there was 2 players outside of screen. Of course, FIFA does that to you. But it seems like the Berkeley attack to me has just got no answers for Jamboree's defence at the moment.
No, not at all. I think that they haven't really been able to consistently thwart or at least, attack this Jamboree team. And that's sort of been their issue, no consistent flow of chances. And that's not really helped them out.
Of course, there's no donations to the Black Dog Institute at the moment since Berkeley haven't got a goal. Can they get one here? The Jamboree keeper hasn't had much to do tonight. It's been relatively quiet in a good way. But again, Berkeley, a big gap opening up in their midfield there, and Jamboree are just exploiting that on the counter-attack. So they win the ball yet again in the midfield. Played it on there. That's a very rash challenge. He's lucky not to get away with a booking there. And he does in the end. Good old Dave. So that's you got someone named Ed Hazard on there, and then you got a Davo. Jamboree look to close this out. We are into the 90th minute, and Jamboree will be meeting the winner of Ellensburg and Coniston. Our next fixture coming up very soon in about 20 minutes. And it's a send-off for Davo. Now he's been red carded. Well, that's just escalated very quickly, Tim.
I think there's been another red card as well. Is that
there has
2
been,
now?
There's been 2. I wonder what happened there.
Well, luckily there's no suspensions in this competition, so
Yeah,
nothing.
it won't matter as much as such as those. Jamboree looking to play in the corner, but that's the game. Jamboree taken out 3-0 on aggregate. Superb defensive display, Timmy. It's been absolutely fantastic to watch them, and the quality they have up top and at the back is showing tonight at the moment. Coming up next, we're going to show you guys what the Play for Lives initiative is all about with some of the videos from our guest commentator on Saturday night, and Craig Foster. Looking forward to having Foz on the stream. We'll be back in just this quick second.
Down here at Bondi Surf Lifesaving Club, we're with the Play for Lives campaign. We're delivering a few care packages to the Wayside Chapel. So they've put on this initiative. It's great to be a part of once again with a few other professional sportsmen and local community members. So we're all here to do a great thing and enjoy the day.
It's a time that everyone needs extra assistance, and there are people really doing it tough, and I'm just really happy to see so many sports identities here. The Swan, Sydney FC represented, they're all making time. It's fantastic.
Hi, it's Ali from representing the Sydney FC W League team. It's great to be here on this lovely day in Bondi at Wayside Chapel. We're going to be delivering some packages to the groups in need of the simple basics. So yeah, happy to be here and support this cause.
Kids on the car.
Hey Craig, say good day.
Hey. Hi, yeah. Look,
Hi,
this is,
loving it.
Yeah, well done to Sam Lane. What an incredible job this is putting this on. You know, working with the mayor and with the council, and just she just reached out to the council and asked what they needed, and this was one of the things. They wanted some visibility for the Wayside Chapel. Rightly so. They do brilliant work. So great job, Sam Lane, for Play for Lives. You know, and that's the type of leadership that we're looking for. You know, people just get out in the community, recognise what the need is. You know, get stuff happening and get sport active. And of course, thanks to all these wonderful athletes who are always happy to help out. You know, it just takes some leadership and initiative, people to make it happen. So Sam Lane's a start.
Hi, I'm Jacob. I work at 2010. I'm a social worker with 2010. We work with young LGBTIQA plus people, and we run a homelessness program. So LGBTIQA plus young people are particularly at risk of homelessness. So we provide medium-term transitional housing, and we also have a bunch of other programs like social programs, and we provide counselling and other sort of practical support. So at the moment I've picked up some hampers from Addison Road Community Centre for young people in our housing program. A lot of them are particularly affected by the coronavirus pandemic because a lot of them are under 22, so it's harder for them to access Centrelink payments if they've lost their jobs. If you're under 22 at Centrelink, they assess your income based on, they assess your eligibility based on your parents' income. And for a lot of these young people, they don't have a good relationship with their parents. Their parents aren't supportive of who they are. So it's been really tough, but we've been trying to support them as best as possible to ensure that they don't fall through the gaps. So yeah.
Out of a 75-page long list of municipalities in Australia, we're right up the top on the first page at the top of the list of homelessness. We have about 1,500 homeless people. We've gone from feeding about 150 people a week to feeding about 450 people a week. If you look in there, you'll think, oh, well, that's a lot. That looks like a heck of a lot of food. And it is. That will all go in a day. We want to preserve people's dignity. And we care for everyone. My dear friends Raja and Talal, we work very closely with the Muslim community who are very supportive.
And so what do you need? What do you need from people?
At the moment we need food. Non-perishables,
primarily non-perishable food.
COVID-19 is just consuming everyone's attention at the moment, but this will pass and we're going to be left with an increased number of people who are unemployed. I walk past Centrelink every day, that queue is there every day.
And if anything with this pandemic, what it has done is actually said our needs, not about the wants, our needs are all the same.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
We're all needing the same thing at the same time for the first time in our life.
But there's so much less well-known people in the community who don't see it as something to strive for, but just naturally, whether you're a priest at St. Paul's, working with the Anglican Church, and there's Muslims and there's Jews, and you take from everybody and you give to everybody. And that's the story of Australia, quite frankly. It is beautiful, it is everywhere, and that's a story that needs to be told. This pandemic, I must say, has brought it all out in us, and it hasn't brought it out good, it just made it more visible. And we should stick together and celebrate what we have. We don't need national narratives that encourage us to do good. We just do it as a natural being.
Okay, Coniston, set them up. This is what happens when community comes together.
Come together!
It's there's always one in the crowd, but what a combination. We've got obviously the LMA and the Lakemba Mosque, which has been here since the 1960s. We've got other organisations who are here. We've got Craig Foster through his Playful Lives. We had the Swans here earlier. We've got Gandhi with the Lighthouse team. We've got the PCYC, we've got the Campsie Police. Of course, we've got the Sharuk sisters who have put together, and you will see a great lentil recipe. And our new friends, Rosanna from Addy Road. Big round of applause for Rosanna and Gandhi. These food hampers aren't going to go to just local Muslim families. When you're in need, it doesn't matter what religion you are, what creed you are, what colour you are. What matters is that you need some help.
It's exciting to see so many different organisations coming together to help those people in the community that are in dire need at the moment. We've got Addison Road Community Centre from Marrickville. We've got a lot of different organisations who are here helping. Jihad Dib, the MP, the local MP for Lakemba. Everyone's been galvanised, have come together to assist those people that are really struggling. We're all in this together. Doesn't matter what your background is, what your religion. Here during Ramadan, we're all helping one another, and that's what it's all about. And a big thanks also to Play for Lives, because they're the ones that instigated this whole event today. So I'm really happy to be a part of this.
Hi, we're the Sharuk sisters. Well, we're the better half of the Sharuk sisters.
Carla.
The other two over there still packing their boxes, which includes our family's famous red lentil soup. This soup plays a significant role to us. It's been handed down from generations to generation.
Well, what a great day we've had. We've been able to put together 200 food hampers, outstanding food hampers. Craig, it's been unreal working with you. The Play for Lives initiative, Abbey Road, Lakemba Mosque, Lighthouse, the Campsie Police, Crescent Wealth. This is everybody coming together, the Sharuk sisters. But this is everybody standing together when things are really tough, and I think it's really important.
Welcome back to the quarterfinals of the Play for Lives Cup. Timmy, we're going to run through our little form guide quickly. We've got Coniston up against Ellensburg Thistle. Obviously, we had to change a little bit about our video there because Coniston is streaming on YouTube. So you got a little catch of their warm-up game. They're up 2-1 at the moment. But Timmy, take us through our form guide. First off, I reckon we'll start with Coniston FC. How do they fare going into this fixture tonight?
Yeah, so Coniston come into this game with 7 wins, 1 draw, and just the 1 loss, scoring 19 goals, conceding just 6 goals, the equal best in the competition. They finished the group stage with 22 points, and I guess it's fair to say they've been one of the most consistent sides in the competition. I think we remember saying after round 1 of how how consistent they were. We went, right, these guys are going to be at the top. I think they were 3 from 3 after week 1 and just sort of continued that form all the way through to the competition to this stage.
Immensely impressive. How is their points in goals scored in comparison to other teams at the moment? We said earlier that they are the equal stingiest defence in the competition, only equal with Jamboree, who just played earlier and conceded 0 goals.
Yeah, well, I think that's been the nature of the way that they've played. Is defensively they have been quite resolute, and I think we've seen, especially in the Albion Park City and the what was the last game we had? I can't remember now. The Berkeley Jamboree game. Yeah, the Jamboree Berkeley game is that, when you defend well in these games, it really does give you a fantastic platform to go and win the game. So I guess from that perspective, it's extremely beneficial, and it's sort of why they are where they are. And I think we're seeing a lot of these teams not conceding many goals. It sort of makes it just shows why they are where they are.
And not only was that game, they just played a warm-up game, they just sealed promotion into Division 1 with that game. So they are going in on a high. But their opponents tonight, Ellensburg, they have been the surprise packet of the competition. Still one of the only 2 teams without a loss at the moment, and they're the only team to topple Jamboree, who just impressively defeated the Berkeley Goats. How's Ellensburg looking going into tonight?
Yeah, so as you've just mentioned, Ellensburg in a pretty consistent vein of form, 5 wins, 4 draws, and 0 losses. So the only other team that's undefeated is Albion Park City, so they're, I guess, an elite bracket. Scoring 20 goals, the 4th best in the competition, and conceding 11 goals, making it the 7th best. +9 on the goal difference, and 19 points overall.
Very impressive record indeed. Who do you reckon takes this one out?
Look, I think that I haven't really watched too much of Ellensburg. I think Coniston should, if they play how they do play, pushing those balls into the wide areas and causing issues, can certainly win the game. But I think we sort of showed that if you defend well against Coniston, they are defensively at times perhaps vulnerable. I know that the goals don't say that they've conceded many, but we created a few chances against them, and I think potentially if Ellensburg can soak up that pressure and hit them on the counter-attack, there's an opportunity there. But I do think Coniston, if they play their best, they will be more than capable of winning this tie.
And I think Conno are having a couple of difficulties just trying to search it up. They're leaving the Pro Clubs lobby, heading back in. Hopefully everything should be all good. But what are your score predictions? What do you reckon the score's going to be in this first league, Tim?
1-0 to Coniston.
Yeah, I reckon that'll be pretty spot on.
2-1.
Perhaps 2-1. They I believe they are the home side to start off with, or maybe it is Ellensburg. Not too sure about that one. They faded our memory just a tiny bit. They do look like they're going their away kit, so it will be Ellensburg who start off as the home team, of course. But I reckon this tie is going to be their first tie to go into either extra time or a third game playoff. It'll be very interesting to see what happens as we settle in and get nice and set. Been a relatively successful quarterfinal so far for most clubs, bar a couple, of course, who suffered some pretty horrific losses last night. We won't embarrass them as to who they are, but who do you reckon? Who's the team that's impressed you so far? And I reckon you're going to state the obvious here.
Well, to be honest, I think the most impressive team for me has been Albion Park City. I think the way in which they conducted themselves from a professional perspective, that I guess the only way you could really describe their performance was professional. They didn't seem to get out of second gear for a lot of the game, and I think that's a positive sign for them. They didn't rush anything. They didn't need to rush anything, and I just think defensively they looked almost perfect, and that they conceded no goals against what was a very good side they were playing last night.
Yeah, I reckon that's pretty spot on. Gerringong, obviously, the amount of goals they scored was extremely impressive. But look, the Albion Park City were equally as good in defence. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens tomorrow night. It could be exactly the same with this match up here. Should one of these teams get through to play against Jamboree, it'd be very, very interesting. as Coniston will be the home team for this game, but they are opting for their red away kit, which is very maybe it's a good luck charm. At least I believe they did beat us in that kit in the first round when they played us in the group stage a couple of weeks back now. But they have opted for their yellow kit now, which is more ideal, I think. So Ellensburg will have to obviously change their kit. Changes to their away kit. I wonder what their away kit will look like. I've never actually seen Ellensburg's away kit in real life. I wonder what it's going to be like in pro clubs. Be interesting to see, Tim. Glad to see that you're contributing to this conversation. Thank you very much.
Look, mate, I was in depth reading.
Don't tell me you're doing uni reading now, for God's sake, Tim. Come on now.
I decline to comment.
Oh, I'll make sure I record this part of the stream so that Dylan Arvella sees it. And you're going to cop it the next time we go on the PlayStation, all right? As the kit select is loading up. So we're just about ready to go for this second quarter final, the final quarter final of the evening and of the competition. 3 of the 4 spots have been set. What happens from here? We don't know. Be very interesting. Seems like they're going to have to back out, though, because they have to research. Obviously, they've had Ellensburg's had a couple of issues. Someone's backed out of their game, which is interesting to say the least. So this fixture is going to be delayed just a little bit more, but we're nearly just about ready here. Moving on now. What do you reckons? What are you looking forward to the most tomorrow night, Timmy? We know the first fixture, but this next one could be very interesting. They're actually in the game right now, but they are all backing out, which is quite funny to see.
Yeah. As for a highlight, or there's something that I'm looking forward to in the semi-finals, is seeing sides that have perhaps been in cruise control so far in this competition really being tested. I think that, it'll be interesting to see how they adapt to that, because we haven't really seen, especially with Albion Park City, go down in a game and sort of be left in a bit of an awkward situation. So I think that'll be good to see and see how they react and adapt and sort of, prove their worth in the competition.
Yeah, as we said earlier, Coniston are on a high right now because they are promoted to Division 1. That's something we can't say as SC Footballholic FC players, but they're looking ready, set to go here. Coniston in their famed yellow strip. And Ellensburg will be wearing white and black, I believe, which will be interesting to see. I've never seen a Ellensburg team wear that colour, which is strange. I've watched so much local football around here, but I haven't seen Ellensburg in that colour before. Tim, have you seen them in a colour like that before?
No, I don't think so. I haven't really watched too much of Ellensburg. Well, actually, that's not true. I refereed there in my first year. But they obviously wore their home kit for all of those games. So no, I haven't really seen too much of that.
For all those wondering, the reason why we're actually hiding our faces is because of the fact that Tim is a referee and a law student. That's probably the worst possible mix you could get in a streamer right now.
Protecting my identity, mate.
Yeah, protecting your identity. That's exactly what we need. As the game's finally loading, the kits are finally loading. Exactly what we need as we get set for this final quarter final. Hopefully it's not a hiccup this time and we can just get straight into this game. Although the kit select is taking a fair while, but it's finally up. And Ellensburg are in the striped black and white. They look awfully a lot like Paul Kembler in this game, which is what can happen here. Stingiest defence in the competition in Group A, of course, up against the surprise packets and the only team to defeat Jamboree, top of Group B in Ellensburg FC. So we're getting underway right on 8 o'clock, just a minute past 8.
What a finish that was, by the way.
You did see that.
In the training lobby.
Yeah, it's a shame we didn't show that, but right now we are set to go for this quarter final. And not Ellensburg, I get used to Ellensburg in the yellow. Coniston will kick off here as they look to attack down straight away. But they do have the Ellensburg players surrounding them at the moment, so I wonder what they can do from here. If I remember correctly, they did like to keep possession in the wide areas, but we just crowded the middle area in now game against them. Didn't work in the end because the AI decided to throw a cheeky throw-in straight to them, the 90th minute, but we won't talk about that. Coniston, very good at controlling possession nonetheless, as they look to do that here right now. Ellensburg, just about every player behind the ball here. They are like a herd of sheep in this box at the moment. You'd think that Coniston, the only way they could score would be through the counter-attack, as they get the ball wide out here. Shame it fell to the AI because they could have done something there. As Coniston have the ball here. Well defended by Ellensburg right there. And Timmy, don't be afraid to butt in.
I won't, mate. I won't.
Don't be afraid to butt in. You're awfully quiet. As the ball's going to the box, it's Ellensburg. It's well taken away by Coniston there. As they look to counter again. This is where they got us in our game. Can they do it here? That's not a bad way to ball. Can he get it? He does get a touch to it. This dealt with in the end by Ellensburg. Out for a throw-in though. Coniston still piling on the pressure. And the player we are with here, it's funny, one of the players from Ellensburg, their player's name, do you know what their player's name, Tim, is? It popped up earlier.
I do not.
Yeah,
Tell me.
One player from Ellensburg is going by the name of Dinko Terzic, who used to be Cono's captain for several years now.
Oh, Dinko Terzic,
there he is right there. There he is right there, near the ball right now. Dinko's Wollongong United this year. Hopefully the season goes ahead. It'll be very interesting. But they also have a player named Zingerbox.
Well, I remember
Dinko Terzic on the ball. As they look at the feed of three, can Ellensburg do something? Very dangerous attack. Can they have the strike and it's dealt with by the keeper in there? What do you notice about the keeper kits and the Coniston kit, Tim?
You wouldn't be allowed that in regulation football, mate. Too similar.
I
was gonna say about Dinko Terzic. You know, I remember my first year reporting. He scored about 30 odd goals in the district league, and I watched him a few times, and it was just my first taste in the league of seeing a striker being that ruthlessly clinical for a whole season. He did all right coming into the Premier League last year as well. So I'm interested to see how he does in the United team when the season hopefully does get underway.
Yeah, hopefully we are getting back to some non-contact training very soon, which is what everyone wants. Ellensburg are on the ball now. They're looking for it through. That's a great ball. Can they finish this off here? It's blocked away. Ellensburg have had more chances as Coniston look to attack down the counter attack now. Can they make something of it? This is where they were clinical against us a few weeks back, Tim.
Yes.
Get the ball in the box. That's well saved there. Clinical on the counter attack. Very clinical. On the ball now. Nice little switch of play. There's again a nice ball down there. They're looking to exploit that right wing. Is Ellensburg. Very dangerous indeed at the moment. Here we go now. Coniston looking at it. He's free on the edge of the box. Can he do something here? Still got the ball. Can he get the shot away? It's not powerful enough in the end. This big tussle in midfield as Coniston prevail in that battle. Again, looking down the left side there, this looks like an avenue they're going to try and exploit tonight. So they look to keep possession. Ellensburg holding firm in defence at the moment. Of course, Coniston don't want to concede an away goal here. That would be very dangerous coming into the second leg when they go to Ellensburg away. Rex Jackson, what do you want to call it, Tim? As the ball's in the box. Yeah, you can say it now.
I have no comment, man. I'm pretty sure it is just a random FIFA stadium, but, you know.
Of course. Okay, and what's the name of our home ground, Tim? What did we call it?
Dylan's Dungeon.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. I just like alliteration.
You do?
That's the only reason. There's no other meaning behind it.
No other connection. No, we don't.
None at all, mate. None at all.
Who's Dylan? There's Berg on the ball now. 36 minutes gone. So they look to switch this ball out here, and they've done so very nicely. They've done that a couple of times in the opening 40 minutes, half an hour or so. No goals to talk of as yet, as it was off the bar. boy, that cross turned into a shot in the end. As I don't know why the keeper sent it out there, but Ellensburg still have the ball. Seemed a bit surprised I got the ball, but it wasn't a bad pass at all. However, the defender did deal with it in the end. So attack down this line now. Cheekily won by Coniston. What can they do here? Can they do anything at the moment? Ellensburg are holding firm in defence so far. Out wide. That's a very nice touch indeed. Not bad at one-touch football there. They're looking to control this game. However, Ellensburg are good at thwarting their attacks as balls like that. They're not going to be doing much. A couple of cheap turnovers in possession from both teams at the moment, Tim.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're just trying to be a bit more direct. Coniston perhaps losing a little bit of patience with their method of just sort of pumping the ball into the corner. I think Ellensburg have realised that that's their main method of attacking and have sort of tried to nullify that, which is working quite well for them.
As we approach half-time now, it is still 0-0. No goals to report over. It was a very goalless night tonight so far. We've only had just the 3 goals to report about as it's half-time now. We're moving into half-time. What's your take from that game, Tim?
Very even. Coniston have they're going to need a different way of playing if they want to try and win this game. But again, to be honest, there's been a few nervous moments for Coniston at the back, obviously hitting the crossbar, a couple of chances that perhaps could have been different had Ellensburg played it correctly. But yeah, it's still extremely even so far.
So we're looking to go into the second half. Looks like they're taking up all the time they need at the moment before they get into this second period of the first leg. I'd imagine there is some nervous heads at the moment. Obviously, you don't know what's going to happen when it's 0-0 at the moment. You can't predict anything so far, but if Ellensburg grab this away goal, it could be very crucial on the second leg. Can they get it through their man, Dinko Terzic? Quite possibly. Let's see what happens. Tomorrow night, we will have the semi-finals live again on our YouTube. Hopefully, we don't drop out like we did earlier tonight. That would have been absolutely disastrous. And, of course, Saturday night for the grand final and the third-place playoff. Cup final, we've got ex-Socceroo Craig Foster and the head of the Play for Lives campaign coming on, which is one you don't want to miss as the ball's in the box here. That's a very nice ball. Again, look, that keeper's dealt with it on the far post as they look to break now, and they have managed to do so. That's a very nice touch. No offside there. It's play on at the moment, and it's away. Very open in midfield now. Look at the gap in midfield so far. Looking to hold the ball there. They can't do so. As Coniston winner with that one, and they have been played offside here. What can they do in this counter? There's a bit more open space than what they usually had in this game. Still got the ball. Again, poor option. Just a final little decision-making in the final third is letting Coniston down so far. However, they are lightning quick on the counter-attack, as is Ellensburg. We're going to do the same here, but that's a very dangerous foul from the
challenge?
AI.
Yep.
That's a yellow card.
That's a classic.
Jaden,
that's an absolute classic. Ball.
It's a classic AI tackle, but we know you got some stern opinions about the AIs, don't you, Tim? It's a nice ball in the box. It's a header, and it's a very, very nice save once again. There's been a couple of headers that the keepers had to pull out a save for in this game so far. Ball, I tell you why. It looks like it's working at the moment until the assistant put up the flag for the ball going out. And that looks like it really looks like that throw in from the AI against us that night, Tim. Just going to
still traumatized, man.
Still traumatized. Can't stop thinking about it. I just want to know that Coniston's captain, the Big Chavapi, is playing a 4.6 at the moment, but if you can snag a goal right now, he wouldn't care too much about his match running. And we've got a player down injured for Ellensburg, which could be very detrimental coming into the final half an hour. Keeper's been called out here. And, did you see that little tackle in the outside of the play there? Was,
getting a little bit toxic in the game. Watch out.
Yeah, we've got injuries, yellow cards, chopping the plane, not the ball. As they look to attack again, looking for that route one cross into the box. Been their most dangerous outlet so far. As they nearly turned the ball away in midfield there. It was very dangerous, and again, in the final third. The defensive third, of course. On the ball. Can we get a goal here? It'd be much needed. It'd be much appreciated if we could get a goal here. Not much donations to the Black Dog tonight, Timmy.
Well, we did have quite a lot last night, so it's probably only fair that it evens out this night.
But we didn't last night. Because Gerringong just stopped donating in the group stages, which is fair enough. They don't.
Well, I mean, that's very fair considering the fact that they scored 13 goals.
Yes,
in the quarter. That's fair enough. That's understandable.
As Connor's got the ball here, can they make something of it? They can't. What can they do at the moment? Is Ellensburg looking to penetrate this stingy Coniston defence? It looked probably the more dangerous of the two teams at the moment. But can they snag that important away goal? Or would they be happy with a 0-0 draw? I don't reckon they'd be happy with a 0-0 draw. Coniston would be happy with a 0-0 draw because no away goal was considered against them going into the second leg. As they look for that route one ball again, it looks like it might pay off on them here. I think the problem is two AIs are going against it, and in typical AI fashion, touched out for a goal kick.
Very typical AI fashion. I mean, once again, the AI just showcasing why it's one of the best things in this game.
Only second best to the Pro Cards lobby, just sitting there and having a chat.
Oh, that's one of my.
That's what we live for. That's what we live for.
Exactly right.
Pro Clubs lobby chat. Right. Spent 3/4 of the time in the lobby. As Coniston look to get this ball in here. They do still have the ball. I think that's going to be a corner. What can they do here? Can they snag a win away? As they again look for that short option. They liked that short option against us, but they didn't manage to pull it off. As they look for the main outlet at the moment for Coniston is their counter attack. That's where they look most dangerous. So too do Ellensburg. What can they do here? Can they snag a goal? Big Chavapi's on the ball now. Their captain, fantastic, as he looks to feed the ball out wide. Again, dealt with nicely by the Ellensburg defence, but it's not dealt with just yet. Coniston still have the ball. Can they get it in? They do. But it is to no one so far. Ellensburg got many bodies in that box at the moment. On the ball, what can they do? He's chipped away a bit. That's Ellensburg. Look for the long ball. They've pulled it off again this time. But he doesn't have much support so far. That's the Zinger box, as they like to call him, and Snack and Zinger box, and Ray and Dinko Tersic on Ellensburg. For those who wonder what the hell I'm talking about, that's what their player names are.
Jared, I think we need to change up the conversation, mate. Need to get some real life topics into this, I reckon.
Well, I am waiting for it, but you're too busy doing legal notes at the moment. It's Coniston look to get the ball in here, but it was offside. It would have been a beautiful goal had it not been offside. But yeah, conversation doesn't help when you're doing legal notes, Tim.
Well, look, we can discuss legal topics if you wish.
Yeah, that's the last answer. That's how you lose listeners and viewers, Tim. I don't think that's how you gain them.
Oh, you never know, mate. You never know.
I do know. As the ball's into the box, Coniston's dealt with it here. We're into the 90th minute. Can Coniston snag a goal here? It'd be much what they needed. Much appreciated. Much appreciated if you'd stopped on your legal study, Tim.
Look, man,
as Ellensburg looking to break away here. Looking to break away, but once again, it's full time. And Coniston have gotten away with a 0-0 draw at home, which is probably best case scenario for them considering the circumstances because they don't have any away goals against them.
Well, yeah, you'd say so. Getting a having a clean sheet as well would be extremely beneficial. But I think the issue's been at the other end, really, no clear-cut chances, and that'd be a huge concern for both teams, is that they're not quite able to sort of create, even a consistent flow of chances, let alone a couple of key chances. So both sides need to try and improve in that department if they want to go forth in this competition.
We're going to take a quick break now. We'll be back just in a sec with Leg 2 between Coniston and Ellensburg. It's currently 0-0 after the first leg.
We're down here at Bondi Surf Lifestone Club, where with the Play for Lives campaign, we're delivering a few care packages to the Wayside Chapel. So they've put on this initiative. It's great to be a part of once again with a few other professional sportsmen and local community members. So we're all here to do a great thing and enjoy the day.
It's a time that everyone needs extra assistance, and there are people really doing it tough, and I'm just really happy to see so many sports identities here. The Swan, Sydney FC represented, they're all making time. It's fantastic.
Hi, it's Ali from representing the Sydney FC W League team. It's great to be here on this lovely day in Bondi at Wayside Chapel. We're going to be delivering some packages to the groups in need of the simple basics. So yeah, happy to be here and support this cause.
Kids on the car.
Hey, Craig. Say good day.
Hey, hi, yeah. Look,
Hi,
this is,
loving
it. Yeah, well done to Sam Lane. What an incredible job this is putting this on. Working with the mayor and with the council, and just she just reached out to the council and asked what they needed, and this was one of the things. They wanted some visibility for the Wayside Chapel. Rightly so. They do brilliant work. So great job, Sam Lane, for Play for Lives, and that's the type of leadership that we're looking for. People just get out in the community, recognise what the need is, get stuff happening and get sport active. And of course, thanks to all these wonderful athletes who are always happy to help out. It just takes some leadership and initiative, people to make it happen. So Sam Lane's a start.
Hi, I'm Jacob. I work at 2010. I'm a social worker with 2010. We work with young LGBTIQA plus people, and we run a homelessness program. So LGBTIQA plus young people are particularly at risk of homelessness. So we provide medium-term transitional housing, and we also have a bunch of other programs like social programs, and we provide counselling and other sort of practical support. So at the moment I've picked up some hampers from Addison Road Community Centre for young people in our housing program. A lot of them are particularly affected by the coronavirus pandemic because a lot of them are under 22, so it's harder for them to access Centrelink payments if they've lost their jobs. If you're under 22 at Centrelink, they assess your income based on, they assess your eligibility based on your parents' income. And for a lot of these young people, they don't have a good relationship with their parents. Their parents aren't supportive of who they are. So it's been really tough, but we've been trying to support them as best as possible to ensure that they don't fall through the gaps. So yeah.
Out of a 75-page long list of municipalities in Australia, we're right up the top on the first page at the top of the list of homelessness. We have about 1,500 homeless people. We've gone from feeding about 150 people a week to feeding about 450 people a week. If you look in there, you'll think, oh, well, that's a lot. That looks like a heck of a lot of food. And it is. That will all go in a day. We want to preserve people's dignity. And we care for everyone. My dear friends Raja and Talal, we work very closely with the Muslim community who are very supportive.
And so what do you need? What do you need from people?
At the moment we need food. Non-perishables.
Primarily non-perishable food.
COVID-19 is just consuming everyone's attention at the moment. But this will pass, and we're going to be left with an increased number of people who are unemployed. I walk past Centrelink every day. That queue is there every day.
And if anything, with this pandemic, what it has done is actually said our needs, not about the wants, our needs are all the same.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
We're all needing the same thing at the same time for the first time in our life.
But there's so much less well-known people in the community who don't see it as something to strive for, but just naturally, whether you're a priest at St. Paul, working with the Anglican Church, and there's Muslims and there's Jews, and you take from everybody and you give to everybody. And that's the story of Australia, quite frankly. It is beautiful, it is everywhere, and that's a story that needs to be told. This pandemic, I must be saying, has brought it all out in us, and it hasn't brought out good, it just made it more visible. And we should stick together and celebrate what we have. We don't need national narratives that encourage us to do good. We just do it as a natural being.
Okay, Coniston, set them up. This is what happens when community comes together.
Come together!
It's there's always one in the crowd, but what a combination. We've got obviously the LMA and the Lakemba Mosque, which has been here since the 1960s. We've got other organisations who are here. We've got Craig Foster through his Playful Eyes. We had the Swans here earlier. We've got Gandhi with the Lighthouse team. We've got the PCYC, we've got the Campsie Police. Of course, we've got the Sharuk sisters who have put together, and you will see a great lentil recipe. And our new friends, Rosanna from Addy Road. Big round of applause, Rosanna and Gandhi. These food hampers aren't going to go.
Welcome back. We're about to get into this second leg of the last quarter final between Coniston and Ellensburg. Timmy, not many goals to report on that last game, so we're going into this game in a clean slate, and the away goal could be the difference.
Yeah, well, I mean, it certainly has been quite tight between both teams, both defending excellently, and just really nullifying the other team. I think the way that this game will be decided is a lucky rebound or something such as that. But yeah, look, I think that the fact that this game is tight shows just how good both these sides are, and I think that perhaps in the games before this there hasn't really been, I guess, games that were too close overall. But in this fixture, we're starting to see two sides that are very close, and they're going to have to find something a little bit extra if either of them want to get through to the next round.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see what happens. Both with would you say stingy defences, letting in no goals. Obviously, that's a bit of a compliment to the defence, but some people don't understand that. Coming up, we have Coniston and Ellensburg. We'll just take a quick break and we'll be back in a sec. And we're back. So Coniston and Ellensburg are in the lobby now, just getting set for this final game of the night, final quarter-final of the Play for Lives Cup, coming to an exciting conclusion on Saturday night when we have Craig Foster in the comms with us. It'll be very interesting to see what happens there. But Ellensburg do have the home field for this game. Coniston, if they such an away goal, could be very interesting as we finally get underway. Coniston, look at the defensive. We noticed that. They don't want to concede a goal here, but of course, if they snag that away goal, it's anyone's game. So look to a ball down the line. Now, Timmy, you said during the break that you'd like to talk about our Pro Clubs team, but of course, as soon as you say that, Coniston nearly score. But you want to talk about our Pro Clubs struggles. What exactly would you like to talk about? Is it our player performance? Is it our club culture in general? What do you want to talk about?
Look, mate, I just think,
you were complaining about the stream being dead while you were doing legal notes in between.
Yeah, well, look, I think that we got to reflect on our performance overall as a club, and there's no better time to do that during a 0-0 draw with limited chances in a FIFA game. So I think we'll get started with sort of the way in which we started off our team. I think we started with 3 people, didn't we? We had Jill, yourself, and me.
Rubbish.
Turner on loan.
Div 10.
It wasn't good for a long while, was it? But I think we did improve a little bit as we went on, and I guess the Big O was a big personality, and I think we could potentially
shame he wasn't a big game player.
We could potentially rate some of the players.
Yeah, how would you rate our loan signing near post Turner?
Hit and miss, I think, is the best way to describe him. I think he had fantastic games, and he was a real chance creator, which sometimes, you can get people who are a little bit, irritated with that when, they're not as consistent. But, he tried to make things happen, which I think is something that he deserves credit for. I think that overall, he was okay. I think you sort of, as in terms of goal scoring, outshone him a little bit, which I guess was a little bit unexpected.
I'm a surprise packet, aren't they? As Coniston on the free kick here. We'll just hold you for a sec, Tim. We'll come back to that topic of conversation. But can Connor do something here? They've been applying the pressure a little bit to Ellensburg.
Oh, they're trying to cheeky little free kick here.
Cheeky little free kick.
Oh, it's not worked.
Yeah.
It has.
It nearly worked. It's
lucky.
a goal.
That's what I was saying before with the with the rebounds.
Very interesting there. So Coniston grabbed the away goal, and they're up 1-0. Advantage Coniston. And you said that didn't work. Well, guess what, Tim? The AI scored, and it did work.
Yeah, well, I think that's what I was saying in terms of a lucky rebound or something was going to have a huge impact in the game, is in terms of they defended it as well as they could have within reason, but the ball just bounces back and it's a tap in. So there's not an awful lot. And there's another chance here, actually.
They're going to be in here. Can they take advantage of this? Here's Coniston on the ball. What can they do here? It's a fantastic play. It's a good save in the end by the goalkeeper.
Could he have played that a little bit?
One more? Could they have played one more there? I reckon there was a free open to cut it back. Would have been a certain goal, unless if Tim Gibson was in on goal, of course.
Unnecessary dig that one, Jared.
No, it's never unnecessary in my opinion. But yes, anyway, go on about our wonderful Pro Clubs team. So Turner's strike partner outshone him a little bit, you said. And who? Yeah.
Well, I mean, from a goal scoring perspective, 100%. You were surprisingly clinical for a striker in Pro Clubs, which was pleasing for us. Obviously. But I think, he perhaps didn't have the players, this is near post, and it perhaps didn't have the players around him to really, show his best.
Definitely did not.
But
when he's getting the ball from Big Oliver Hill.
Big O punting one over the top and then saying, I'm just throwing grenades. Yeah.
And losing the ball every single time, exploding in his face.
I mean, let's stop talking about Mr. Arvella's game. I'm talking about Nathan near post Turner, but overall, I think it was okay. You know what? He tried to create chances, which is all that you can ask.
And Jordan Warren at the back, he was mildly impressive as well. Must have been the last name. Good luck charm.
Well, yeah, I
No,
mean, I
no
think he was
comment.
better.
All right, yep.
He was better in midfield, I think, actually, or at least he was that one.
Or
The
we
second,
were better in midfield. We were better when he was
second
in midfield.
second round of games. Obviously I got disconnected, and he played central defensive midfield and was excellent, and then also played in midfield game after that and was again excellent. So yeah, look, I
As
think that
Ellensburg look a chance here. Can they do it? Yeah, it's well defended by Coniston. I'm getting the tongue tied there. But yes, I reckon it's not the fact that he's better at CDM. I reckon it's the fact that the team's better when he's at CDM. Of course, we were missing a key player that night as well, in Tim Gibson and Big Oliver Hill.
big plays make game changes.
Yeah, game changes in a good way. When they're not playing, of course. As Coniston looked to settle the game down a bit. We're half an hour into this game. Ellensburg seem to have it so far. But again, that's an offside ball 100%, and they're not going to have much luck in front of goal with an attacking outlet like that so far.
I think this would probably be, without Coniston sort of, running away with it a little bit, this will be all the goals that we'll see.
And Coniston's got the ball here, and they nearly conceded a goal straight away.
But yeah, look, I think that we won't see too many more goals in this respect because they have been so tight, and it was just a couple of lucky deflections that saw the ball end up in the net.
They look to close this half here, but Ellensburg, they definitely need a goal right before half time if they want to get back to this game. Look for that long ball again. We haven't seen that as much this game, and that's probably the reason why, as it's gone straight out. So who do we review next in our team? We've got Nick Wilson in our team as well, who was a surprise packet, but in the last two games last week, he went a bit quiet like most players in our team.
Well, I mean, I think his poor rating didn't help too much. Obviously, he just basically started playing pro clubs for the tournament. Didn't sort of have the benefit of playing all those extra games, accumulating all those skill points. So I don't think we saw the best of him. But yeah, he was one of the very few players who actually knew the right time to pass, and sort of that decision making, especially in the final third, was excellent a lot of the time, which was a useful asset to have in our team.
As Coniston looked to break away just before half time, if they snag another away goal here, surely it's no way back for Ellensburg. That's a beautiful ball here. What can they do? That's a brilliant ball, but it's dealt with by the goalkeeper. As Ellensburg looked to counter just before half time, but again, it's thwarted by the Coniston defence. Their record, the Jamboree and Coniston's record of 6 goals conceded currently remains. Can Ellensburg do anything about that in this next period? Be very interesting to see what happens. They might just run this out at half time, Coniston, unless if they can get some space here, open it up. Looks like they're running it out. But he's still got it. Oh, that's a beautiful ball. And how has that not gone in?
Oh, it's still there.
I, for one, that looks a lot easier to miss than it was to score. But nevertheless, it's still 1-0. And they go into the break now in the ascendancy, Coniston FC. They look more likely of the two to go through now with that crucial away goal. Can Ellensburg fight back, Tim? Can they fight back from this?
Well, it's only a little a deflection off a corner or something like that, and away from an equaliser. But that away goal is going to be awkward, so they're going to need 2 goals, which, judging by how Coniston have defended, is very unlikely.
And have you currently still doing? Are you still doing your legal notes at the moment, or have you finally seen the light and chosen football over unnecessary study? As the ball's in here for Coniston once again. Oh my God! Seek help, please. It's 8:30 on a Wednesday night.
It's almost bedtime, mate.
This isn't how you're meant to live your teen years.
Oh, who defines that?
Literally everyone in society but you.
Oh, look, mate, I'm an individual.
You're definitely an individual, all right. Definitely an individual. Coniston. But the stream wouldn't know that because somebody forgot to switch over back to the next scene.
Oh, no.
Never mind, you didn't miss any goals. What a shame that was, but we're back now. I swear we're never gonna do that again. Touch wood. Ball's out to Coniston. There's the Berg look to break now. They've got some numbers. Back and forward. While we're at it, Timmy, what are some of the legal notes you're doing?
So I've got a presentation on.
Okay, you lost me already.
Got a presentation looking at sort of lawyer communication.
Communication. That's something you haven't been doing tonight.
Look, mate, I pick my moments to speak. I like quality over quantity.
Any moments to speak.
I think.
How many times have you spoken tonight without me trying to get you to speak?
Probably none.
I want Jaden and Blake back.
Fair.
I want them back. Come back, please. Don't leave me. Anyway. It's 58th minute.
Thanks for stating the time, Jared.
You're welcome. I'm glad somebody could comment on it because unlike somebody else, I'm not doing legal notes in this commentary.
Look, all right, I was trying to put you through the presentation, mate.
Yeah, well, I realised it was a poor question to ask.
Digital technology and how that influences communication is essentially the topic.
Yeah, you've lost me.
How, mate? That's a really basic content. To be honest with you.
Yeah, really basic, like not worthy for stream consumption. Basic content. On a lighter note, we've got hopefully touch wood. We've got Blake and Jane from the Falcons returning tomorrow night for a bit of entertainment because let's face it, we're not providing it at the moment. And the game's only got one goal, which is quite disappointing. What can you do, Tim? Can't do much about it. Get into the later stages of the competition, and it's just best defenses go up against the best defenses, and the best attacks go up against the best attacks.
Yeah, it's good. Good teams,
something's
mate. Good
got to
teams. Give. Oh, there it is.
And they're back in it. Game on. Well, just as we said that, we're finally got some entertainment tonight.
Yeah, a lucky little deflection, lucky little block, as I was saying before, and they're back in this game. These two teams, they're so good that you need a bit of the old RNG to decide whether who's going to go through in this kind of a game.
Well, this is it now. Ellensburg need a goal in 20 minutes. It's not much time against events like Coniston. Is it panic stations now? Can Ellensburg advance with this momentum? Of course, we can't go to extra time because away goals will decide it before that. So this is it. Well, we didn't see that one coming, Timmy. We thought Coniston would got a hold firm.
Oh, well, look, I mean, I'm not surprised that they got a deflection goal, but I would have thought the way that they defended, they wouldn't allow those little deflections to perhaps, cause issues for them. But, yeah, look, I think that's a goal that's almost a lifeline for Ellensburg in this game.
Well, they really needed it, but they have a limited window of time now to get their next one, especially when Coniston's advancing in the attacking third like that. They've got numbers in the box. What can they do here? Holding it firm. Done very well there. Has Ellensburg Thistle. Still will die for them now. They need one more goal to advance to the semi-finals against Jamboree tomorrow night. And when you can call it offside like that, I don't think it's going to happen as easily as they think. Now, Coniston are opting for that long ball route one type of football now because they don't need a goal. Ellensburg do at the moment. And they're fighting tooth and nail to get that ball back. But with balls like that, you got to do something with it. And balls like that are not going to be the solution to their problems at the moment. They need a goal, and they need a goal quick. There's 8 minutes on the clock by stoppage time, of course. So we're looking at probably about 10 minutes of play. Coniston got the numbers out here, and it's hit the bar, and surely that's it. Finished by Coniston. It's 2-1 now. I reckon that's it, Timmy. I think that's game, set, match.
It's not going to be useful for them. I think that now it is perhaps a little bit too much. Not too long to go in this game now. Maybe only one chance.
It's going to take a miracle. It's going to take a miracle, this one. It looks like Coniston's going to see this out, and they can snag one more here. That would surely see the deal with 5 minutes left on the clock. I'll be more than happy just to get the ball down this end. And you'd be pleased to know, Timmy, that not our stream, but our little Zoom chat we've got going on at the moment on the stream, it's been going for over 2 hours now. So
isn't that just fantastic?
Currently have the ball. Yeah, that's just what you wanted on a Saturday night. You were talking to me earlier. You didn't want to do tomorrow night. You're not made for this. Where's near post Turner? Does he want to come on?
Mate, it'd be good to get his opinions on the team. Actually, how he is, a bit of self-assessment.
Yeah, I'm sure he wouldn't be doing his uni study while doing it though, as there's 2 minutes of stoppage time, and surely that's the end of the road for Ellensburg. It's been a great cup run for them, but unfortunately their first loss comes in their last game, which unfortunately is the nature of knockout football. Can they snag a consolation here? Be a matter of what if this happened in their other fixture. They would have gone through if they scored a goal. But unfortunately they won't, and Coniston are the winners. Sets up a mouth-watering affair tomorrow night. 2 mouth-watering affairs, actually. Ali Park City against Gerringong and Coniston against Jamboree. Well, Timmy, Group A dominates this semi-finals. 3 out of the 4 teams are from Group A.
Yeah, I'm not sure who might have been the Falcons boys saying that they wish they were in our group, or I can't remember, or was it us saying that we wish we were in Group B? I think it was something like that. But
you said that. You said that.
Well, if I said that, then yeah. Well, I think there's a little bit of perhaps a difference in quality between the two groups. Might have to seed them based on last year's performance come next year. But yeah, look, I think that Group A has been very good. I think we saw the quality of the teams that we were playing as well. Coniston, the pressure they put us under for so long, it's no wonder that they do score goals.
Well, Timmy, I'm sure you'd be glad to hear this so you can get back to some study and sleep. But that's our coverage for the quarterfinals tonight. We'll be back again tomorrow night, or at least I'll be back. I'm not sure what you're doing, though. Are you going to be back?
Perhaps. I'll see. I'll see what I'm doing.
Concrete.
Mate.
Don't be surprised if Timmy's got his head in the books tomorrow night, everyone. Tune in tomorrow night as well. We've got 2 massive fixtures. We've got Ali Park City up against Gerringong. And then we've got Jamboree up against Coniston. 2 massive games.